Hi, my name is Gregory Pardlo. I'm a poet, writer, dad, professor, and avid tennis player. Well, I started writing as a teenager. I was just talking about this the other day. I was writing really bad rap lyrics as a 13-year-old. You know, Sugar Hill Gang had just come out, Rapper's Delight. And so I started writing rap lyrics, but as I continued writing, the stories got more and more complex, and at some point, I decided I wanted to write songs. I realized I was more interested in writing song lyrics. But then the song lyrics got more complex, and I was more interested in the imagery, and I didn't care so much in the lyricism. I didn't care so much about the stories or the content of the song. And so finally, I realized I was writing songs that I couldn't actually play on the guitar. And so I was always interested in writing poems, and it wasn't until I took a poetry workshop as an undergraduate that I decided I wanted to be a poet. Very often it takes me about 6 months at least to write a poem. But that's really part of an important part of my process, is to work on something else entirely and then come back to the poem when I have a completely different headspace. It helps me get some layers and depth into the poems. It doesn't help me finish poems in a very timely fashion, but you know, so be it. Between the kids and teaching and all the traveling that I do, I end up doing most of my writing in hotel rooms and in airports. And I've gotten pretty good at writing in my office over the noise of whatever the latest teen heartthrob music is blasting from my daughter's rooms upstairs. So I got this little basketball net in my office that I find myself shooting baskets. It's a little Nerf basketball net. I find myself shooting baskets while I'm writing. And again, that's that repetitive motion. I think I'm a kinetic thinker, a kinetic learner. We talk about these things in the classroom. I have trouble sitting still in my seat, which any teacher of mine years past would tell you. I found one day these old wooden tennis rackets in the bottom of the closet. I mean, we lived in a development that had a wall, and I took the tennis racket out one day and started hitting the ball. And I really liked it. It says a lot about me, just that monotonous, routine practice of finding the sweet spot on the racket and the physicality of it. I'm not a believer in genre, actually. I was having this conversation with another poet. He asked me this wonderful question. He says, "Do you believe in genre?" And it was surprising to me because it suggests that it is a belief system. If one believes in it, then there's something natural and organic about the fact of poetry being here and the fact of prose being here. And I think at the time I asserted very quickly, yes, of course I believe in genre. Poets uber alles, right? We're going to stick together. But in the couple of years since, that question comes back to mind, and I think more deeply about it. And I think genre is a constructed category, system of categories, much like gender or race or class or any other categorical way of organizing the ways we organize our world. So I do think there are conventions, obviously, that constitute that conversation, but they're only conventions, and I think I'm more interested in the leaps across those conversations and how to bring those conversations into conversation.